My name is Burnt Reynolds.
Hugh Blackman here.
Matthew Colburn.
And today we're going to be talking about OF.
Yes, only fish.
The
Plenty fish.
the
Only
slipperiest
fish.
of slopes.
Fans only. Intro. Why is it that OnlyFans is more popular than a lot of these other adult websites that are essentially free for the exact same thing that people would be subscribing to OnlyFans for?
Oh, that's cake. Okay, as an ex-manager of influencers, the biggest thing is the connection.
Yeah.
It's just so much more real, and it's guaranteed. And then you add the casino effect to it, right? So it plays on your FOMO. So let's say let's say Jessica Alba has one, right? And you're talking to her every single, you're liking her Instagram. It feels like you're talking to her every day. She comments. You follow her on Twitter. This person's basically like they're one step away from being a real part of your life, right? So now I go on this OnlyFans account, and you're telling me that I can get personal attention with you, damn near have a full relationship with you, if I pay $10 a month. Okay, so $10 a month, I'm in. Boom, right? Now you post a picture that says, oh my gosh, I put this outfit on for you, blah, blah, blah. It has 200 likes, but you can't see the picture. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost the same thing as being like, okay, I want to ask this girl out, but I'm scared. However, you know for $6 or whatever, you're going to get the yes. So it's the same psychological thing of playing a lottery game or trying to hit on someone.
Saying. It's almost like a gambling addiction when you think about it, because you know that you might not have necessarily the money regardless of that, but you know that that's something behind that picture, that 200 likes or whatever. You want to see it. You got to see it. So even if you don't have it, you're going to find a way to get it, and you're going to see that picture because it gets you that, oh, look at that. She's wearing that for me. I know it's for me. Yep. Oh, I got to see more. Oh, now she can make a custom video or something for me. Oh, I wear that or do this for me or whatever. And you pay, and it gets addicting, and it's a high.
I think it's more popular mainly because it involves people you kind of know. It's like girl next door type stuff.
Facts.
These are people you actually see out in public. People you went to school with. Yeah. Like, oh, I've never been able to see her naked. Well, if I pay her $10 a month, I'll be able to see her naked. You know, it's more personable in that regard, but it's at the same time it's a marketplace for people to sell their nudes.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that's kind of a high. It is kind of some people's kind of like fantasies, because that girl that that woman you see at work or whatever else, that teacher, because a lot of teachers have been getting in trouble for that, having OnlyFans, people finding out, but it's a high because you're like, oh shit, they got one, or they're sitting there promoting it, or you know about it because Snapchat has premium as well, and Snapchat pushes the OF, and it's insane. It is usually people you know,
and that's the thing. It's like when it comes to like your employer finding out, actual employer, you push it out there so much, and no matter how good your fake name is, you put it out there so much with your face, people can put 2 and 2 together and figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so and that's another thing too. Is there a way to get out of it once you start it? So say you build up this thing, you get used to that kind of income.
And that's the thing though. It's like I don't think it's happened to a point, but I feel like once you've done it, it's one of those things that's kind of it's going to follow you.
Well, of course, yeah, because it's all out there, because people buy it and they can keep it.
And what's scary about it is like when people go for jobs, people are going to pull up this thing. Oh, you used to do this thing and this thing on the internet, and it's going to get weird. It's going to get weird, and it's going to get.
And I think that's one of the things is people don't think life after it. Like you do this. So say 2019 or whatever, or 2020, you did this. You grinded it out. You made all this great money. That's great. Here it is, 2021. We're starting to slowly, we'll see how things get to rebuilding. So what happens when all these simps and all these people are paying all this money and they get a better job, or they stop paying less attention to you? So now you're trying to figure out ways to pull in more people.
It tricks you psychologically though, because what happens is girls will get the posting on OnlyFans, and then OnlyFans will send them a message saying that, oh, you're in the top 5% of all creators. It's a fucking lie. Mathematically, it is improbable for that to even be the case. But what it does is it pushes up their ego to a point. So they'll post more and more. But what will happen is that fall off, like you were talking about.
Oh, you eventually.
So once that fall off happens, they're going like, well, I still need to make money. You're used to making this amount of money. So what happens is they end up doing more and more and more in their content, and next thing you know, they are freaking porn stars.
Pretty much. And that's pretty much the next step is to get into that, to do that. That's the only way they can supplement the income, because you get used to making, that's just slow ball, because I've seen some of them make really good money. Let's just say you're making $5,000 a month from it.
Yeah, that is slow ball.
Are you really going to go back to a job, and let's just hypothetically say you got a degree, and were you going to go back to a job where you're making $18 an hour? So you're making you're basically making what, $3,500 a month, maybe, if you're lucky with tax, depending on, and we're not even including kids. So are you really gonna go back to that, knowing that you can get on? I can sit all day at home, shoot text and shoot people this stuff all day, make 5 bands guaranteed every month. You think so? And then now you think someone's gonna be willing to go back to that normal 9 to 5 grind? I gotta go through traffic. I gotta wear clothes that don't make me happy. I gotta be around a bunch of people that I don't care about.
Right.
You think they're going to be willing to do that? No, you're right. They get addicted. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to get these people to like my stuff more and more and more.
It's a dual addiction.
It is.
It's the addiction for the subscriber. It's addiction for the content creator.
You're right.
Yeah, that's basically the same situation. The one described about how you have to do more stuff. That was actually the same situation real porn stars went through back in the day when porn was huge. And then you add on top of that how it affects your personal lives, because, I mean, once your parents find out, there's that conversation.
Man. That's true too. And that's things I wonder too. Yeah, with OF, if your parents find out.
Because when in my there was a girl I was talking to, and from being able to like have these relationships or lovers or whatever you want to call it, I've heard things, because some of these girls do have OnlyFans, and you're 100% right. Usually their main subscribers are people that they went to high school with, and then on top of that, like in my last relationship, right before it ended, her whole family found out she had OnlyFans right there on the site. And I didn't get to see how that played out, but like it happens. It's not
right.
These situations do occur, and it's like, what's your father gonna think at this point? And then when it does follow you at work, I just think it's so new that the negative consequences haven't been found yet.
Oh no, not enough people have been impacted by it yet.
Right, and they're chasing the financial gain of it without seeing the repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could cost you a job. It could cost you so much. And then you got to think, if you have children, babies or not, they're going to grow up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're growing up enough now. And you don't think kids talk, you don't think kids are smart enough to find stuff like that. Oh, your mama does this. What are you talking about? That ain't my mama. My mama got my daddy. My mama loves my daddy. Well, your mama loves everyone, because right here, if you scroll on down.
But let's not pretend that guys aren't on OnlyFans as well.
Yep.
Guys are also on OnlyFans as well. It's not just a female thing, but the same rules apply. There is definitely no differences between the opinion of at your own risk, but you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you got to hold the consumer responsible. That's a fair point. I mean, I went through my phases of thinking about, like, okay, should I be an OnlyFans manager because they're pumping money out? And then I went through my experience when my ex was on OnlyFans, like, downloading OnlyFans and seeing what it was about and doing the whole subscription thing. And I had to make that decision of, okay, no, I'm not going to do this because I might be empowering the women, but I'm still hurting the men. And then am I really empowering the women by helping them through this because of that process? Right. So I said I can't do this. I let it fizzle out. And then on the watching it portion, what I was seeing it was doing to me, and then this weird relationship with the girls just didn't feel right to me, and so I had to pull out too. But I think it. Well, let me ask you guys: does it when a guy goes, "Oh yeah, I'm an OnlyFans subscriber," besides thinking he's a simp, all of a sudden, do you have different thoughts of him?
My first thought is like,
it's like, first of all, why are you paying for stuff that's free?
Yeah. That's my first thing. My first thing, thing is really, and then it's like, so what is your life like? Do you not have any close relationships? Did women do you wrong? Have you been taken advantage of? I'm guessing probably so. They were maybe taken advantage of. In this way, they're not getting hurt. They have somebody that's there for them, even though they're not there for them, and they don't have to worry about the crippling thing that, maybe they have anxieties, when you're with somebody.
Yeah.
So this is easy. I know Tina will take care of me. I know Jennifer is always there for me. I know all these make-believe, and they love me. They care about me. They tell me they love me and they care about me. And if you don't have that in your personal life, then it becomes addicting. It becomes a comforting thing.
Yep.
I'll get on OnlyFans and I know that they're there for me. Or I said, hey baby, I'm having a rough day at work, and they, message back, oh, what happened, and they believe that these people care, and that they're just another cog in the machine.
Words of affirmation. It's their love language.
Yeah.
You both see him with the coping mechanism there, because that's like the same thing you would do with a friend that you see with like an alcohol addiction or like. Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Okay. That's what I
would see why men would get so addicted to it, because they just, maybe they feel they're not attracted too. You gotta think about that. Well, how come women don't talk to me? I'm too nervous to talk to women or whatever, and they've got this low self-esteem about them. So when you get somebody that says, no, I love you, I'm there for you, it pumps you up, makes you feel good. Man, look at this girl that's really I don't know if they go around telling people that, but like, man, it makes it feel good. Like, man, this girl is really into me. She's down for me. She's with me. I'm riding it out. I take care of her. I'm paying her bills. She needs a little bit of extra money. I take her out to dinner. And it pumps them up. It makes them feel like they're a provider, and it's jacked up. And that's what a lot of the women. It's a psychological thing. They know that these men want to feel strong. They want to feel powerful because they're not in their own lives. Yeah. So they make them. They empower them to do it. So it's a big
and on the flip side, these men also empower the ego and bank accounts of the women.
Oh yeah, because some of these women.
It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious circle.
I agree. You're right.
So it keeps feeding this negative. Oh, I don't want to say negativity. It depends on your perception of it. Mm-hmm. If you got in to make money to pay rent, then you're surviving. Yeah, you're surviving.
Exactly. Go survive. Yeah.
But
have it out though.
You have to realize that you need to think of the future. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Especially like you said just 2 minutes ago. If you have kids,
that's the biggest.
You gotta start making those smarter decisions.
Because it's gonna affect them regardless of I'm paying my baby's bills. I'm taking care of my baby. I'm clothing my family. I get it. That's wonderful. That's amazing. But there's a cost. All this risk. There's gonna be a cost to it. It's not something that's going to go away. It's always going to be there. People, and I hate to say it, we all know how the world works. People judge you based on all that crap.
And I know viewers thinking this too, because I know how this works. You're going to think, well, OnlyFans will sue the person that leaks my nudes. It's more than that. Because, guys can still screenshot the OnlyFans account, right? It will follow. Like, it's not that protected. You're protected from revenge porn, but you're not protected from all the consequences.
Jeez.
Right, as soon as you upload something to the internet, it's on there forever, whether it gets leaked or not. And the thing about it is, a lot of these big accounts, like not Dropbox, but I forget what it was that got leaked, and the fappening, all the celebrity news got leaked from.
Oh, the cloud thing, the iCloud.
Yeah, thing? The iCloud. Yeah. That something like that can happen to OnlyFans, and then everyone's shit is just out there, and that would be the fucking worst, because what you thought you were secured under like paywalls and blurred screen is now out there for the world to see. That's a scary thought.
So there's this one girl that I was talking to who literally knew, like, hey, like, I'm doing this right now because I have to pay for college. Yeah. And when she got out of college, she's going to try to find something else. And we talked and we even dated because, like, at that point, I totally understand. Like, you got to survive, right?
Right.
However, she seemed to have this, like, I never saw any of the narcissism thing going on.
Okay.
And it seemed to be managed really well for her individually. Do you think it's possible for someone to be on both sides, on the consumer side and the producer side or creator side, to have that healthy medium operating within that?
I think it's possible. Especially if they're not in it to get a shit ton of money. She just wants to pay. I'm not saying she doesn't want to make money and take, but I think when you get wrapped up and you start saying, all right, I made $2,500. Let me make $3,000. Let me make this.
Okay.
She is probably setting all right, I'm gonna do the minimalist I can to get what I need and maybe do a little bit more, and that's it.
Yeah.
She's not getting addicted. She's not allowing this algorithm to come out here. Hey, this month you're one of the top 5%. She's not letting the game get to her.
Yeah.
So I think if you allow the addiction to take over, it will take over. But if you control it and say, all right, I'm doing this for this little bit. I'm only gonna do the little bit I can to do, and get by until I finish school, then I agree. There's probably a small percentage of people who can do that and have that kind of self-control, because that takes a lot of self-control.
And you say algorithm, it is social media, and I think that's kind of why I kind of fell out of love with Instagram. Because Instagram, for me, I used to...
It's changed so much.
And I know this is kind of a weird, like, correlation, but Instagram used to be a place where I would just scroll to get inspiration. Mm. But a lot of the pages that I am seeing now that I used to subscribe to for, like, travel photos or just posting pictures of women, wet T-shirts, nipples out.
Because it sells and it sucks.
And it's just like, well, I can't open this up at work anymore because this is going to...
Even advertisements, the ads for IG are insane now. It's like... It could be talking about cameras or something, and the chick will have a camera sitting there, and it just barely enough cleavage, just in the camera's position. I'm like, really, bro?
What does got to do with cameras?
Bye.
You know, like this marketing, and you look at it, and it's got 1 million views or 100,000 likes or something like that. I'm like, 100,000 people like this camera.
Yeah, and think
about Let me go look at the comments here. Look at them titties. Yep, it was the titties. Yeah. Should have known it was the titties.
And honestly, just all social media. I've fallen out of love with a lot of social media.
So that's a perfect segue on the social media to the consumer part then. So besides as a man not having an OnlyFans and having genuine or as a woman, just as an individual not having the digital paid for relationships but having the organic relationships are obviously better. But if you are going to go for the paid for relationships, do you think there is a healthy medium?
For paying, so this is my thing. If I have to pay you to talk to me or to engage in conversation or experience, why should the motivation be money? Why shouldn't it just be an organic experience with two people in a room?
Or even look at that. How about when I don't go out to bars and crap, but imagine when you go out and speak to women. Why is it from what I hear from other dudes, why is it for the only reason they'll interact with you is, oh, you should buy me a drink or buy me a drink, and why do I have to give you something for you to have a conversation? We can't just engage in a conversation. So it's almost like it starts like they're taught as children, we're taught as children that we're supposed to give you something in order to garner attention.
Yeah, and it does the opposite.
And exactly. So it's not just social media. It's period in society to have a conversation with, I got to get you a drink or I got to take you to dinner for you to consider me a worthy of you. Come on. How is that even right? God forbid. How about you take me on a date? How would you feel? Take me on a date and then let's have a conversation. It sounds ridiculous to you. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. But that's how society has created things, not just social media. It's just everything you have to pay to get something or have a conversation with somebody almost to even meet them. So,
for me, I've never been a big OnlyFans person, but I think going to the club or going to Twin Peaks or even the strip club, I thought those were really similar. But at the same time, for me, the healthy medium was always okay, I'm just going to go have fun. Let's just take people out. We'll go out. We went once a month or something like that. Yeah, okay. I think that was a healthy medium. But for me, OnlyFans, I think, is just too personal to be that way. For me personally. But,
well, that you did bring up a point, though. Like Twin Peaks and Hooters, that atmosphere and business model low-key steps up to that.
Yeah. Because a lot of those girls do that on the side, like OnlyFans and stuff like that. They promote her a little bit because tight ends, even all those places, they do. It's a segue. Yeah. Because they get tips there and they make good money. Well, imagine if I, took it up a notch. Right. And did this, so not even when I'm not working, I can make this passive income at home. So yeah, you're right. It does it starts like a little bit of addiction, a little gateway drug into it, a little doorway. Well, you're showing this little cleavage at work, and people are tipping you and giving you this attention.
Solution: we just all need to go to church.
It's such a slippery slope, but it serves a purpose, and I'm struggling understanding when does that purpose become unhealthy, and that's what I've always struggled with because I respect sex workers, I respect everybody on both sides. But it's I still don't know. I still feel uncomfortable telling people okay, well, this is probably where you should look out for it. You know what I mean? Right. Because I don't judge you, but like the previous episode we filmed where we talked about shit testing. It's not the fact that you have an OnlyFans. It's not because you're doing that I'm now more skeptical. It's because I know what that brings. Is why I'm more skeptical.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah, it is a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons I don't do the whole rap thing anymore is a lifestyle that I just did not see myself to be a part of. Yeah. When you're looking for a partner, that's a part of the equation is basically you need to just be aware of the challenges and if the challenges are going to be worth it.
Because it's so easy to see the negatives, but it's there are positives.
Well, there is. Right. Like I said, if you have a direction, all right, I just want to get through college, I just want to do this, I want to do the minimalist everything I can to do this.
I just wish I was, because I feel like the benefits are already so well known for the most part, as far as like for consumers, obviously. But then like on the creator side, like a lot of those girls or people at work in that really develop kind of like a pseudo family because they're so close. Okay. And there's just like, there's positives, but God, it comes with the negatives. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does. I don't know. Maybe it's, I mean, unless, speaking to somebody personally who's doing it, I guess that'd be the only other thing, I guess.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea.
Seeing how it is, especially somebody who's been doing it since it started, like last year,
right?
Like COVID.
Yeah.
Seeing, their perspective on it, like how much has it changed? Now that it's been a year, or a little over a year since the whole thing started, because it's like February they started shutting everything down. Well, so it's been over a year. Has business still been good, or has it decreased?
I know people who have turned their life around. Like they've made like 6 figures for the first time in their life. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. When you see that kind of money and you're not used to that kind of money, start buying stuff you don't need.
Been there. Been there. Check the court papers.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, it becomes addicting. I mean, when you have that kind of, you're right, when you have that kind of money, that flow, I mean, you're bringing in $20,000 a month or something like that, it does get it, because you can't get someone. You know what? I want something, I'm going to get it. I might not need this TV, or I might not need this ridiculous item, but I got the money. Yep. I'm going to do it.
Irresponsible spending.
Mm-hmm. Not investing it. You're doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So, for sure. But that's just assuming that they are doing those, or not doing those things.
So I think the negatives and the positives are pretty much the exact same thing. I think the good things that come from it are also why bad things come from it, and moderation of finding that medium for yourself personally is the way to go, from the creator or the consumer side.
Right.
Because they're both directly linked. That pseudo family that the creators develop with their coworkers also leads to a lot of gossiping and trauma and things. Yeah. So you got to balance that. On the consumer side, if we all went to the strip club to have fun for one weekend, that could be dope. If we're going every day, now we're like lost. Right. I think they're directly linked in its moderation.
All right. Cool. With that said, I am Burnt Reynolds.
Hugh Blackman.
That's Life Jennings.
Matt Colburn.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
We are outro.